Well, we're back here. Lots happened since I talked to you the other day. Most of it annoying. Originally, when I started this little venture, I wanted to use this laptop. This is a Dell Inspiron 15. And all I'm doing here, one of the things you need to do is you need to get your HF radio. You need to get the audio from it into the sound card of the PC. Headphone jack, input jack, sounds easy enough. Well, about that. The radio, of course, isn't really the problem. We have the appropriate nice little cord here. It's just a couple of 1/8" these are actually 1/8" stereo jacks. And the first hurdle is, I got this laptop about, I don't know, 3 months ago, and it's I've not been very happy with it, and it's not been pretty, and the manufacturer's help is really spectacularly poor, to be really blunt. This is pretty interesting. A job I worked at for a long time, we had Dell servers, and you're treated like a royalty there. When you buy a Dell laptop at the consumer level, you're treated like pond scum. Everything's the user's fault. The first thing out of their mouth is, well, you know, you really ought to buy the extended warranty. And my comment to that extended warranty thing is, well, let me help you out here. You can't even get me working during the normal warranty period. Why would I want to extend my warranty with you? You can't even get me going. And I have, to be really blunt, I have screwed around and dicked around with these folks till I'm blue in the face. And I thought, you know what? You're messing up here. These folks aren't going to help you. You're going to help yourself. So I did. I helped myself. And like a lot of things in life, if you help yourself, there's a lot more satisfaction in it, because you'll usually learn something. One of the first little time bombs I ran into was, I don't know if you can see it or not, yeah, right there, is this jack. Most laptops, PCs with sound cards have two jacks. There's a microphone input and an earphone input. Not on this baby. This threw me for a loop and had me scratching my head. I looked all over thinking there was another jack. This is just a headphone jack, and I've used it that way, and I never thought too much about it. One of the first things I did was I tried to find out what this was about. There was actually very little information about this. I stumbled on the information on the internet in two places. One was another pair, actually a pair of poor souls that had the exact same problem with the exact same laptop. One of them was just trying to do something, record something with a microphone. The other one was trying to record something at church. And they had called Dell support and got nowhere also. And I did some snooping, and I got the specification document on this, and it said input audio, and it said combo jack. So I did a little snooping around. Well, what the deal is this jack is a kind of multi-purpose. It actually, instead of the 3 rings you see there, there's actually a 4th ring, and they have another circuit for an audio input. That's fine. That doesn't bother me. It annoys me, but it doesn't bother me. And apparently that's something that the cell phone industry kind of adopted. So I had to snoop around, and first off I went to the packaging that I got this computer with, and there was no, I figured there'd be a little tail. No, not so much. No mention of a tail or anything on it. The second poor soul I found on the internet had the same problem, and the person there said, well, you need to get this cell phone buddy thing. Basically, it's a little cord with 4 jacks or 4 circuits and then it's got a little split in it, and one side's the pink side for the microphone, one side's the green side for the earphones. Well, here in the great void, technical void that I live in, there was no such luck. And I stumbled onto a little jack that's kind of all built together at Radio Shack. And I got a hold of it and brought it home and screwed around, and I kind of got the thing to work. And it would only work if I had one of the windows up on the sound recording. It was real weird and real sketchy. And that was in the kind of in the wee hours of the morning. I shut the thing off and brought it back up later, and that whole rigmarole, all that stuff I did, doesn't work now. I've messed around and messed around and messed around, and nothing has changed other than I shut the laptop off. And I talked to Dell on the phone, and they don't know nothing about nothing, and they basically left me unresolved. So I'm just screwed. Well, I thought I was. So what I've done here is, well, what did I do with that? Oh, goody, I've lost a piece already. Aha. Anyway, I was looking around the internet, I thought, well, maybe it's the jack itself. I took and I ohmed the thing out, and it appears that it appears to have a short in it, like two of the contacts are shorted together, and I don't know if that's the way the thing is, or isn't, or what the deal is, but it appears to be broken. And the guy at Radio Shack wanted to fight with me about it, and I got so annoyed that I just said, you know what, I've had a belly full of people that don't want to service things. Anybody can sell anything. It's servicing things or resolving issues that's the real, you know, money maker. I know, I used to do it for a living. So what I did was here, I was snooping around, and we've got a local computer place that used to be quite popular, and it's kind of, I don't know, for lack of a better word, it's kind of fallen on hard times over the years. People don't build so many PCs anymore. And so this place is really kind of thinned down. And, excuse me, I'm doing two things at once here. There we go. I was looking at their website. The one thing they do have is they've always had a very good website. And interestingly enough, they had these little bitty USB sound cards, and they're like $10. So I thought I would give one a try. We couldn't be out any more than I already am. I think I spent $8 on the stupid adapter from Radio Shack, which I'm still annoyed about. Anyway, what I did was, all you do is just plug this thing in. Supposedly you're supposed to sniff this out. And if you can get the USB connector to work. And it appears that let's see here. What do I want? Recording devices. Well, gee, there's the, I don't know if you can see this or not, and the rats, the battery is dying on my camera. Okie dokie. Anyway. Okie dokie, we're back. So, I got one of these little USB adapters, and there's actually a few controls on the thing that my PC recognized it right away. My other laptop has a kind of a bad buzzing noise when you hook the radio up. So what I've done here is I've turned the yacht boy on and turned it to a local AM station. And if we leave the music run long enough, YouTube will send me a nastygram that I'm violating some copyrights, which is fine. It works fine. It's kind of interesting because this thing has yeah, you'll just have to kind of tough it out here. USB and headphones and microphone. And you'll have to right click on your sound speaker down here and set the properties on this, but it pretty much just works. It's also got some mute functions. There's a little switch here, which I'm all backward, which looks like one switch, but it's not. It's actually two. It's kind of a rocker switch. It mutes the microphone. and mutes the speakers. And then this runs the volume up and down on the earphones. You can use the speakers, you can set it up, you can use the speakers inside there. Anyway, this works fine. So, I don't know how much luck we'll have here. Well, it's not like we're going to be too lucky here. Let me shut you off for a second. Let me fiddle around here. Well, we're back here. Got a little, to put my big boy pants on. Trying to receive that with my yacht boy. I can't hear anything. This is on 8.504 kilohertz, and I don't hear anything. But then I get to looking at the schedule here on the NOAA weather site. And this is out of New Orleans, Louisiana. And guess what? This doesn't fire up till 6 o'clock, so we got about 4 minutes to waste here. The camera's battery will stay charged. Yeah, about that. So, actually I fired up one of my other receivers. I've got an R392 military receiver. That baby can hear through walls without antennas, and it's absolutely, it's just dead as a doornail. I don't hear anything other than static, so that's not a big problem. We can find a little time to waste. This little USB card, actually I bought 2 of these. They were about 10 bucks, I think, and some change. I'm sure you can get them cheaper on the internet, but you know what? I didn't want to wait for I've been waiting for the internet all week, and it's let me down. Like I said, they're not going to help you. Help yourself. This was made by C Media, and it's just a little baby USB adapter. And I've actually got another one coming. I ordered about a week ago, and it's more of a line level input and output. It's supposed to be a lot nicer unit, but when I ordered it, I just ordered it kind of a huff. I didn't look at it. Well, gee, it isn't in the US. It's over in Hong Kong. That's okay. This actually seems to work. It actually comes with some software, but I didn't need it. It says you don't need the software, and it's supposed to do 3D sound and whatever. And every once in a while you can get a hold of one of these little USB doable things, and the things just work. I've got a little standalone kind of a, for lack of a better word, it was a net device, and all it is a PC in a box. It's literally, I don't want to move it over here, it's about that big. It's about the size of a CD box, and you hook a monitor and mouse and cables and power supply up to it, and there's no wireless in the thing, so I stuck a USB wireless thing. There's a USB connector on the top of the thing, and I've had that running down here. I've got probably a 30-inch flat screen I kind of use as a monitor down here to look at schematics mostly. What I do is I download the schematics and look at them down here in the shop. And that thing's just been running away down here. It's an XP box, tells you how old it really is. It locks up once in a while, but it's nothing major, and I've kept it pretty lean and mean. I've never installed a lot of junk on it. I think I put the bare minimum. I think I put the driver to make the network USB device work, and a PDF reader, and some other bare minimum things. Besides that, I use it to run my Thunderbolt GPS disciplined oscillator. I use I believe I mentioned this in another video, the Lady Heather software. Again, if you get a chance to use that software, feel free to. I'm sure that gentleman would take a donation, or at least a kind word. Well, it's 6 o'clock, or 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock? And I read the darn schedule wrong. Doggone it. Oh well. Okay, that's okay. So I've got about an hour to go. Well, I'm not going to kill an hour down here. I can, but you'd probably be bored to tears. So this external USB card has solved three of my problems. I tried this on some of my other PCs, and every one of them I've tried, it just works. I've tried it on an XP machine. I've tried it on, this is a Windows 8 machine. I've got a Windows 7 machine it works on. I tried it on Mrs.'s laptop. I've got a couple old ancient XP machines that just do some busy work when I need them to. Fired right up. So I've tried this on, and I tried it on my sister's PC. I stopped on the way home and I asked her if I could plug this in real quick just to see if it worked. Worked fine. So I don't know if this works on Linux or not. If you have a Linux box, you might be a tiny bit out of luck, but maybe not. A little fiddling might get it going. It seems to work just fine. In the laptop just thinks it's another sound card, and you can just set the defaults and pick it. You can actually split the thing up. You can set what I've done here is I set the mic on one default, the line input, and the speakers on the laptop I left alone, or reset those. Works just fine. And you can plug and unplug it. I've powered the PC a number of times, so there's none of that nastiness. So, and for those of you asking me why I didn't install this on my other PC over here in the laptop, or in the shop with the 30-inch screen, again, I like to keep that machine kind of lean and mean. I usually don't fiddle with it. I just use it for a couple things, and that's all I needed to do. And the minute I get a bunch of junk on there, then it'll be updating every 10 seconds, and sure as hell it'll crash or something dumb will happen. And then when I really need it, it won't be around. So I've just kept it to a bare minimum. This program is pretty well behaved. I might put it on there just for fun, but at this point in time, I don't plan on it. One of the things I did today, today is a really unusual day. It's like 64 out. I mean, it's in the middle of, it's almost the end of fall. We're getting close to Thanksgiving, and it should be just nasty and cold. Welcome to the Midwest. The weather is quite dynamic around here. The other Monday, it was colder than all hell. Yeah, cover the children's ears. They've heard the word before. You just don't know it. And it was nasty, and it rained a little bit. It almost snowed. It snowed kind of outside town, but not inside. We get that a lot. Storms come barreling up, and then they split or go away or just fizzle out. Anyway, it's a beautiful day out today, and it's just been spectacular. So what I did was I ran a new piece of coax through the house. I was very careful about how I ran it. The basement down here in where the shop's at has a drop ceiling, so it's kind of a pain in the rump. But I was very careful where I ran the thing, and I kept it away from as many electrical doodads as I could, and tried to use some existing ductwork as shielding. Hopefully that worked. It appears to have. And I got it outside the house, and I hooked it up to a long wire that I put up about a month ago. I was experimenting with some new long wires. This one is just a piece of galvanized steel wire. Actually electric cattle fencing wire. I got a roll of electric cattle fencing wire from a friend of mine. He's getting out of the farming business, so he gave me this roll of wire. And I wanted to see how strong it was and how noisy it was. There's controversies about wire. Should it be copper? Shouldn't it be? Blah 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 blah. I've never really seen anything conclusive one way or the other. I think antennas are a lot like diets. Some of them work very well for certain people, and then some of them are miserable failures. I have a lot of miserable failures, and to be real honest, I use a lot of whip antennas in the house, or little short antennas in the house, and have just as good a luck. But this is kind of a fun pre-winter project I threw up quick and dirty. It took only a few minutes to really get it up and going, so I'm using it right now for the Collins here. Well, I guess I'm going to let you go here. There's not a lot more to update, and I'm probably going to trim this down. I don't know if you've noticed or not, past couple videos before this one, I must have shaved about, I bet I shaved about 20 or 30 minutes off of that video. I took a lot of and-uhs and some other dumb things out of there, but I did shave some unrelated rants, and there were some other things that didn't really relate to the video's main topic that I just shaved those off. I might save them for a rainy day when I'm bored and desperate for something to put up on YouTube. Anyway, if you then leave a comment. I'd like to thank the folks that watch my channel regularly, that subscribe. Your comments and your subscription is very appreciated. Hopefully you like these videos. Like I said, winter kind of chases me inside. There'll probably be more inside projects, but I don't know. You know, other than me blowing the snow, hopefully we won't have a lot of snow this year, or cutting the turkey, or ripping open Christmas presents, or something kind of pedestrian. I don't know what other things you want to see. I got plenty of projects. One of them is I need to build a new power supply for my Collins. I'm kind of bumming a ride in an HP lab power supply. I tried to use this little pack power supply I bought at a junk sale this summer, or flea market, and it is the noisiest POS I've ever seen. It works fine for running, I assume, industrial stuff, but boy, radio stuff it is not geared up for at all. And I thought it would be kind of at least quiet. And I actually tried a little filtering on it. That didn't seem to work too well. So you'll be seeing me build that new power supply, and I think what I'm going to do on that is we're going to go old school and use brute force. We're going to use a lot of nice filtering caps and inductors and bleeder resistors, and since that radio isn't too fussy about being voltage regulated, I can get away with that. And I think it'll be a junk box power supply. I'll see what I can. I've kind of been scoping out some little chassis. I've got an HP power supply that met its end in a fiery death. Matter of fact, something to work, it never does. I don't know if you can see that or not. This was a little HP lab power supply. It's actually a HP 6227B was, and it went up in flames. I've got that in a lot of these. I don't know how many. I think I got 10 of these altogether. And this one, I don't know how that ever happened. The transformer is just toast in there. But the box is kind of a cute little box, and it's got just 2 big meters on the front that I thought might be fun to build a little kind of a discrete power supply to run this shortwave radio. It's, in case you're unfamiliar, the R392 is a DC radio. It was probably in a tank or maybe a nice Jeep. There's probably a transmitter set that went with this. And I got this away from a friend. He's cleaning out. So all he did was set me up to be the next guy with a house full of junk. Well, I've droned on long enough. I tell you what, if you have a question or a comment, or want to subscribe, if you're a new viewer or kind of just a follower along and didn't subscribe, it doesn't matter. It's fine. It doesn't cost anything. I don't get anything out of it other than I get another subscriber number when I look at my analytic thing, which is kind of cool. It's kind of nice to have a, I don't know, following. I guess it's a following. It's kind of cool. It tells me that some folks like these videos. I think what I'm going to do is shut you off. I'm going to wait an hour or two. Actually, I'm going to wait 2 hours. This around here, even though this is kind of just down the road by a couple states, it's not right next door. This comes in a lot better at 7 o'clock at night, 7 p.m. Central Time. I guess we're in Standard Time now. Anyway, take her easy. I'll see you in a little bit.